Hello, future researcher. My name is George Timer. It is my pleasure to walk you through your purpose here at the Abnormality Research Organization, or the A.R.O. Most of us just call it the A.R.O. Now then, I hope you already know your job here, seeing as you are hired. But I'll give you a quick refresher. Our main purpose here is to study the different anomalies, to help us better understand, contain, and protect them. I would tell you how to research them, but we don't have the time, and quite frankly, I would hope you already know, as getting a position here is no easy feat. What I will talk about is something you don't already know too much about, the classes of the different abnormalities here. There's 3 types of classings: danger class, containment class, and species class. Danger class is true to its name. It's the amount of risk the class gives to other beings. The first level is safe. Again, goes without saying. These are the things that aren't going to hurt you on sight. Please keep in mind that this does not mean they are harmless. Most will still attack if threatened, so don't go poking things with sticks. Next is the dangerous level. These are things that are naturally dangerous to humans and don't need to be aggravated too much to spill some blood. They're the ones you won't be researching without a group of armed guards nearby. Finally, the lethals. You won't be seeing very many of these, since they can be extremely deadly, and possibly strong and more than willing to tear you apart. Only time we'll be seeing these things is if they're calmed down or chained down. Now for our containment class. I'll make this quick. It doesn't really matter for you lab coats. Full level means that they can go as they please. Frolic in fields, swim in lakes. Hey, don't even care if they go into society if they don't cause trouble. Something you know is that these guys choose if they can be tested on. Just because they aren't quite human doesn't mean we don't give them some rights. Next is our contained level, the ones you'll be seeing the most. These are the ones that we keep locked up, tight, and don't get too much of a say in if they get tested or not. Don't worry, we aren't gutting these things, we still have a heart. Then there's level we aren't the proudest of, partially contained. These guys fall into 2 categories: entire species of creatures, which are so many that we couldn't just keep them all trapped, or things that we can keep locked in, but not usually for very long. These follow similar rules to contained level. Finally is the Unleashed. Almost never see these guys, since they're almost impossible to keep in one place. These are the guys that take up most of our time, since we're always hunting them down. Now then, let's talk about what you scientists really care about, the species class. If you brought a notebook, I would recommend writing this down. Things get a little complicated here. First is the spirit level. These creatures usually have a vessel of some kind, whether it be a poor sucker who got caught up in some ritual business, a recently dead corpse, or a gift made by somebody. When these spirits have a body, we refer to them as monsters. As a monster, they can be killed, but this will only send the spirit back to some kind of underworld, in which they can come right back up, although we don't know how. Spirits can also appear without a body, however they can't really interact with the world, only be seen and heard. When this happens, we refer to them as ghosts. In all honesty, we don't care about ghosts too much here. Next up is the demon level. They're similar to a spirit, but they don't need a vessel, and can manifest when they feel like it, to do what they please. Similarly to monsters, they can be killed, but this time it's even less effective, as they can just reappear at will. Now we have the alien level, and it's exactly what you think. If it comes from space, then it's an alien. Easy enough. However, it actually goes beyond space. Things from places like other universes also qualify as aliens. Then we have the errors. These poor sons and guns were once human, but after a run-in with death, got turned into something different. You see, if something dies and yet somehow doesn't, they get the Schrodinger treatment and become something neither dead, alive, or undead. They become beings that reflect their quote-unquote death. For example, if someone should have died from drowning, they may be turned into a vaguely humanoid water bubble. Quite frankly, it's always a little gruesome. Moving on, we have our final level, the basic anomalies. This is the miscellaneous of the bunch. If it doesn't qualify as anything else, then it's an anomaly. This means that anomalies range from cursed items to slightly odd beings, and most things in between. Well, that should be it. Now get out there and make the world a better place.